which can provide business consulting or AI adoption, those kind of services, for choosing the right product for that enterprise?
Thank you for the question. To my knowledge, we mostly connect technology companies, so mostly B2B SaaS companies, product companies, not so much consulting companies to the corporate clients. But thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Hey folks, we have coming up pretty soon an unconference style workshop. So if you stay around, it's going to be an unconference. We're going to be running with Dave Nielsen, who heads off the AI Alliance. And so I think he's currently in a session right now speaking. But if you stick around, we'll be doing that. So it should be fun. Who's been into an unconference before? Who knows what an unconference is? Nobody? Unconferences are unstructured ways basically that it's called open space technology. It's basically a way that people can collaborate together without a formal structure where we self-organize each other. So it's going to be open. You can bring up whatever topics that you want to discuss. So if you're really interested in like one particular thing, we're going to be doing it together just as soon as Dave gets back, which is going to be around 20 minutes from now. So if you guys are interested, please stick around. It's going to be great. And looking forward to seeing you then.
Recording in progress.
Yes. Nan. Okay. Nan is, sorry, excuse me. I didn't know, Nan, you were presenting. Please come up and thank you very much. Yeah, so I think you can set up. Where did the cord fall?
My name is Nan. Liu. I'm CEO of Quantia. Okay. So we make an AI cluster for AI infrastructure. Okay. So we're making AI cluster for the AI infrastructure, right? At the most of the cost-effective way. Okay. Yeah. So always a low price and a scalable AI cluster for customer customizable and the option for the customer for the business. Okay. So what we provide is it's like a viable alternative. Okay, so basically for the alternative for the cloud and also for the cluster like NVIDIA's DGX, right? So you can save like 30% or 50%, of the cost. And then the other thing we want to do is try to prove again, on-premise solution, AI solution infrastructure is cost effective. Okay. So here's about me. I have many years of experience, in the IT networking, and then we build a company in the industry, and we have lots of well-known customer also. And here's about the company. Before we are doing product lines for the network data analytics for the performance monitoring and the intrusion detection systems. We have a US patent granted. It's a global company. We have a customer around the world in US and Japan and Singapore. So the cost is a major effect for the AI models, right? When you design the models, people much more careful with the flops, memories, all that. So you will be compromised because of cost. You cannot design the models whatever you wanted, right? So the same as the customization of foundation models. It's the same thing, right? If you always worry about the cost of infrastructure resources. It's limited to your capabilities to have a viable solution. So in general, for the most cases, people only have two solutions to go. Right? One is cloud, right? So when you have small models, you have AI projects, so you go to the cloud. It's very easy in the beginning. But once you go to a certain point, your model become bigger and you use lots of resources, you move the data in and out. So then the cloud become much more expensive, okay? So when the enterprise count like a 100K to 150K cost of the cloud, so then the enterprise will be seriously consider to using on-premise solution, okay? So especially for the large models and also data privacy, right? And the cost of resources. So this time is on-premise solution will be much more critical to have. Okay, so here is the basically pricing, right? So we for H100 GPUs, 122 terabyte of data storage, performance monitoring features and intrusion detection. So we cost $350K, right? If per month is 29,000. But if you running on AWS for similar kinds of requirement, costs 38,000, right? Google is 34,000. But NVIDIA doesn't have 4 GPUs, so only 8 GPUs, so it's not counted here. So here's a breakdown for the AWS, right? So computer storage, intrusion detection, performance monitoring. So all add up is 38,000, right? Here's good. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's not just the cost. Also, on-premise solution, when you buy from us, you have a full stack control. On the cloud, you don't have, right? Let's say whatever the instance the cloud give to you, you have to use it. You have no choice. Because let's say if the Linux has bugs, you cannot upgrade, right? There's firmware for this hardware, you cannot do it. But on the on-premise solution, you own your own cluster, so you can do everything easy, right? So that's you have full control of your stack, right? So of course the storage we provided, right? Cloud has an extra charge, right? Then it's add-on for performance monitoring, intrusion detection, and we provide built-in, right? So you also have to pay for the cloud. So for the 8 GPUs, H100 GPUs, that is the DGX, right? DGX H100. So we charge 500K, and NVIDIA is 700, right? Because NVIDIA doesn't include in data storage. You have to buy the partners of the NVIDIA, like Dell EMC and NetApps, right? This costs much more, for the storage, right? So, but for Amazon service, right, you cost 84K, right? So Google it will be less. So then here's a breakdown for the 8 NVIDIA H100 GPUs and 500 terabyte data storage and performance monitoring, intrusion detection, right? So here's a breakdown. And here, so basically it's in 3 years, you buy us or you're using AWS with same 32 NVIDIA GPUs, H100, 500 terabyte data storage, you will save $9 million, right? Because you buy from us, it will be $3 million less. But for 3 years, right, you will almost 11 million. So when you buy from us directly for the same configuration of DGX, right? So this will be 32 GPUs, okay? So you will save money about 1.2 million. So power savings, right? This one is for like a DGX or H100. You have 10 kilowatts, but for us it's 8.475 kilowatts. And here's the breakdown. What we have in compare with the DGX H100, right? If you are using 128 H100 GPUs, right, for the GPU cluster, you can save about 132 for the per year. Okay, so why we can do that, right? Why? So the reason is because of GPUs, right? Except the GPUs, all the components and the systems, we are using industrial standard components, right? For example, we can use like Dell server systems, GPU nodes, or supermicro computing nodes or HP, right? So that's, we can free to choose, according to pricing. And then for the other things like storage, for example, like networking, we don't have to use the monolith. I mean, the one as NVIDIA are using, right? So for that that switch, we can use Cisco's, for example, or we can use Arista. Whatever we're using will be lots of cost effective, like including the storage, and also components wise, it's easy to use, select, and easy to support because it's very easy to everybody's using, right? Like for example, like memory chips and other things, right? So that is why you can end-to-end integrated solutions have lots of cost effective and saving power is one of the outcomes, right? Okay, so the other things that we can do is for standard AI networks, right? It consists of 4 subnets, right? You have storage, you have compute, you have a management plane, you have BMC, right? So 4 subnet networks. You need routers, switches for 4 networks, right? So you're using more network equipment, using more energy, right? You slow down the AI jobs, you high the total cost. But for us, we combine 3 subnets into one. So in one network, we have compute, management, and also storage, right? So the other one is the BNC, is for the management power and so on, right? So 2 subnet networks, so you reduce the complexity, right? You use less energy, you improve the job performance, right? You lower the total cost. So this integration has lots of good outcomes. So here is what looks like the cluster we sell, right? So you have here's 2 nodes, here is 4 GPUs, right? And 1 storage and the 2 computer nodes. So that's that is the minimum 4 GPUs, right? So if you fully populated the cluster will be so before is you have 4 GPUs, all the slots is empty, right? Until let's say later on you want to scale up, you want to have more resources, so we can add for you, right? So for this one, so we are not just for NVIDIA GPUs, also AMD GPUs. So here is the security, right? We secure the cluster, we have security and the intrusion detection and the performance monitoring built in, right? So that's very critical, and usually, NVIDIA is not provided, right? And on cloud maybe provided, you need costly, you need lots of things to do. So here is for the performance monitoring, the purely for the AI protocol, network traffic protocol, like RDMA, RoCE v2, right? So for that kinds of the performance monitoring, intrusion detection for the GPU nodes and resources. Okay, the other one is when you purchase from us, you are all-in-one convenience, fully integrated, right? So what that means is you have networking console, DHCP, Kubernetes, all that data storage, and the Linux installed. Everything is intrusion detection, everything's ready. But if you don't buy from us, you do on your own, you got a high consultant, right? So the cost will be much, much higher, even come to $500,000, because you need a sysadmin, you need people understanding storage, you need to understand the networking, you need to understand the Kubernetes, all that. It costs a lot of money. So we have the, okay. So the other thing is here is the cloud compared with us, right? So cloud is for between instance, between computing nodes is 10 to 30 microseconds, the communication. But for the cluster you have your own, you only 1 to 3 microseconds. And we also can do a hybrid cloud. What that means, you can distribute resources in terms of usage. For example, you can do training, heavily used resources. You can do it on our cluster. If you're doing, inferencing something different, you can do it on the AWS. So it's just to make sure it's flexible, right? So yeah, here is the hybrid cloud use case. We can do, there are a number of them here, data privacy and so on. So here's the cost. Cost will be, so hybrid cloud costs a little more than purely on-premise solutions. So, but still save like 50% cost of on cloud only. Yeah, many projects we can use, right? As long as AI projects, networking, computer vision, and so on, all can use on our cluster. It'll be easier. So here is a breakdown of the models, right? On single GPU, okay, Llama 7B, right? Smaller ones, you can run on a single GPU, right? And also you can run even parameters like 33 billion parameters, you also want running on a single GPU. So then multiple GPUs, the models, you can do 65 billion and 175 and so on. So the cluster can be increased, more scalable, more resources you can use. So yeah, so we can do, of course, can do very good inferencing. Inferencing, so lots of demanding in the resources also. And it's also lots of easier to do inferencing compared with the training. And here is also, so foundation models, customization also is good using our cluster to do, right? And also you don't have the big capex, right? You have small models you can use for your own, train the models in the enterprise settings for your own purpose, right? You don't have to spend the big money for that. So the other thing is, yeah, we on-premise solutions, we have lots of benefits. So here the list of the benefits: data privacy, cost, specialization, training times, and the flexibility. Okay, so we're also doing consulting because so AI infrastructure is very different than traditional network infrastructure, networking and the storage and the system infrastructure. So we can do more if the customer asking, such as Kubernetes orchestration, such as schedule managing, right? Like Slurm and others, right? And the other thing is very critical, very important is data storage. And that in this area, right, it's very, very critical is what kinds of storage design you want to use, right? And we can do all of them, right? Like NFS or, Nextshore, GFS, all that is according to the customer, interest. Yeah, here's finally is, breakdown, why, here's a comparison with like affordability, all-in-one convenience, and the building security monitoring, scalability, flexibility, network analytics, and the data storage. Where if you compare with NVIDIA, that doesn't have, but with the cloud, right? Some of them have, but very much costly. You have the additional cost, such as scalability, right? Such as the data storage, right? So yeah, that's all from, I guess, all from me. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. No questions? Okay.